This is the final part of our 3-part turned 4-part series comparing GoodNotes to Noteful. So far, we've gone through 9 similarities between GoodNotes and Noteful, 9 ways that make Noteful better than GoodNotes, 7 ways that make GoodNotes better than Noteful. And now, we'll go through flashcards in GoodNotes versus page layers in Noteful for active recall. Hey guys, it's Roxy, back with Paperless X, a channel that is all about digital productivity. If you're new to our channel, hello. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know each time we release a new video. And if you're already subscribed, fantastic human, welcome back. Both flashcards and page layers can help you with active recall. This is a method of study that involves questioning yourself to check how much you know, remember, or understand from what you're learning. These questions are created from your notes, and it helps in highlighting areas you need to work on to make sure you don't have any gaps in your knowledge. You can therefore either use flashcards in GoodNotes or page layers in Noteful. GoodNotes has had the flashcards feature under experimental features for years now. It's made us skeptical to recommend anyone to use it. This can disappear any day, alongside with all your notes in it. That is the main reason to choose the page layers in Noteful over the experimental study flashcards in GoodNotes. They are a permanent feature. In GoodNotes, flashcards only work with the GoodNotes standard paper. The plain page template for your flashcards in GoodNotes is not great when you prefer handwriting your questions and answers. However, with digital note-taking, you might not have to do that, because you can open your study notes on one side in whichever app you write them in, and your flashcards on the other. On the screen right now, we have Noteful with my study notes, and I'll be creating the flashcards in GoodNotes. You can also do this when your study notes are in GoodNotes. You'll spend a few hours dragging and dropping sections of your notes. It might be faster than rewriting everything in the new format. It will be easier, of course, if you just wrote these notes as flashcards from the start. However, we've been taught to create flashcards from existing notes. It's difficult to unlearn, but not impossible. Let us know if you have come up with a better way to create flashcards in GoodNotes. While dragging and dropping notes is quicker, it creates too many inconsistencies, which I personally dislike. When there's little information, you can enlarge the section to fit the card to make it more visible. However, when information is too much, it becomes difficult to fit it all. So your flashcards tend to have some large text and some really tiny ones. I prefer my notes to look uniform. I also like using up as much space on my flashcards as possible. To solve that, I'll probably have to rewrite the questions and answers, which takes more time. I'll probably use Kyoko flashcards instead of GoodNotes. The app has more paper templates that make for better flashcards. GoodNotes for flashcards, definitely not my choice. Not my go-to app for that. After you finish writing your notes in Noteful, you want to create layers in your notebook for active recall. There are a million ways to go about this, but we'll keep it simple. How complicated or how exact you want to make this process really depends on you. Make sure that your layer is selected before you start writing your questions. I'll then go to the margins of this digital notebook to write my questions. I formulate these from my notes and I try to make this as difficult as I possibly can. I'll then create another layer for answers. On this layer, I'll just highlight a question and its answer using the same color. Obviously, you want to keep these colors bright and light to make sure your notes are still visible. I could have used better colors. This workflow is much easier and more fun than creating flashcards, don't you think? I don't have to create a new notebook, I just modify the one I already have. You can also create these questions and answers as you create your notes. That way, you don't have to find dedicated time for creating revision questions. Make sure your lasso tool can select handwriting only, and you can move that question to your question layer. You can also highlight the answer and questions. Again, using your lasso tool, just pick the highlighter only and move that to your answers. When revising your flashcards in GoodNotes, you can mark them depending on how difficult you find the questions. It might help to roughly write the answers down on the side and mark them for yourself as honestly as you possibly can. GoodNotes doesn't have an option to mark your cards as hard. It only has good and easy. After you finish revising all your cards, you get a summary of how well you did for that round. The application then recommends the next time you can come back to study that material. If you're eager, you can study again right away. In Noteful, for revising, you have to hide your notes and answers to just leave your questions. Because all your notes and answers are in one place, we suggest writing down the answers in a different notebook. You can bring back the notes and answers to check how well you did. Unlike the flashcards in GoodNotes, you don't get a summary of how well you did or a suggestion for your next session. The flashcards feature in GoodNotes kind of works better if that's important to you. However, with Noteful, you can use Apple reminders to create a study timetable. I'll choose page layers over flashcards any day. If active recall is a very important part of your study style, then you should consider using Noteful for that. Which of these two features do you prefer? Page layers or flashcards? We hope you guys found this video useful. Give it a thumbs up. If you did, thank you, fantastic human, for watching. See you in the next video.